Hello everybody, how are you today? We are having our wonderful Fun in the Sun junk journal event over in Junk Journal Jamboree. So I hope that you have been watching everybody and enjoying that. Up after me is going to be Christy from Funky Junk Inspirations. So two Christys in a row, how's that? Let me move some stuff around here. When you come in, let me know where you're watching from today. I'd love to know. It's always fun to see how far we spread ourselves, right? I got this hair thing going on over here. It looks like I got wings on this one side. You know, just does that. Well, what can you say, right? What can you say? So I'm trying to get squared away here. At least we got started here with this, and I've already tested the down camera, so we're not going to have the crazy stuff that happened last time. Hi, Estella. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. So yeah, we've got, let me see, how many people did we have today in the Junk Journal Jamboree? Oh, there's more than I can see right here, where I can see. So we've got still several more after me. Well, here, I'll just... Oh, that's not going to do it. It's going to open it somewhere else. Well, at least I should be able to see it. So let's see. After me, we're going to have Christy with Funky Junk, and then Jimmy Lou with the Messy Craft Corner, and Becky's Whimsy and Christy's Crafty Cottage. Oh, Becky. Yeah, Becky's Whimsy. I was going to say, I don't know her page name. That is her page name. Oh my gosh. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Thanks. Thank you for sprinkling me out. I appreciate that. I'm going to just pop over here so I can also make sure I can see comments. Yeah. So this is so fun. So here's what's going on today. We have got all the presenters. Our theme is Fun in the Sun, and everybody is going to be using the same theme, and then we're going to be working on our journal for April, May, and June. So it was a 3-month commitment to everybody to be able to, you know, be in here. And let's see, what else was I going to tell you? So, and so we're supposed to work on it from start to finish. So it gives you a chance to work from start to finish, and everybody, you know, see different things that you might add, different techniques that you have, you know, what might be a little bit different for you or from, you know, somebody else. Maybe we're doing the same things and everybody does it a little bit different. So it's always kind of fun. Now, I tell you what, I have had a heck of a time getting started. Yeah, so if you're going to see something from the start, yep, you're going to see it from the start. I can guarantee you that. So it is what it is, right? It's like everything under the sun that might have gone wrong, I think has. So, you know, some days are just like that. Hi, Maritza. Hi, Susan. I'm not sure if I said hello to you. Anyway, I'm so glad everybody's here. Susan was before. Subi Designs, I believe. I think that's right. Okay, so what we're going to do is a tab bound journal today, and I'm kind of starting from it. We're really starting from scratch, you guys. But I think, how many of you? Well, tell me this. How many of you have done a tab bound journal? Hi, Lori. I'm wondering how many of you have tried that. I think I like them because they're different. So I'm just, give me some hearts if you've tried a tab, I can't even say it, tab bound journal. It's kind of a tongue twister. Hi, Liz, how are you? Hey, Carol, we still have people popping in, don't we? Well, we still, you know, you end one. So we all go back to back. And here's the thing. When you watch in the group, we're all streaming into, so we're each live on our page, and then we are shared into Junk Journaling Jamboree. The easiest way for you to watch all of the crafters is to go over into the group Junk Journaling Jamboree. It is a no-cost group, and you can just watch everybody, and all you have to do is just refresh your browser, you know, between creators, and then you'll see the next person. So it's easy. You can watch the replays in the group. You don't have to go hunting to everybody, you know, everybody's page, and yet you've watched them. You know, Facebook knows you watched them, so that's always a good thing, right? Hey Connie, how are you? Connie's from Connecticut. Hey Debbie. Lori says she's new to all of this. Well, you know what? Are you new to paper crafting or just events? I'm curious. Hey Lisa, how are you doing? Lisa says she saw it once. Well, what we're going to do today is different. You know me, I'm game to try something different. Even if I've never seen it before, I'm always dreaming up something. So, so I hope you like seeing new and different. I guess you could say that's creative. I'm not sure always if that's creative or ridiculous. So there, who knows? There could be just a small amount of difference. I don't know. But here's what in the world? Oh my word. Here I just had, I thought I fixed everything. That's not even showing up on the, oh my goodness. What in the world? Well, I don't even think you got, oh no, you can see it. I don't even know what that was. Now let me turn Bluetooth off here. Oh, you guys, it's not one thing, it's something else, right? Okay, you guys, now I put the Etsy sellers and the kits that I used in the description. There are no links. I didn't put links. There's a problem when we put links, and Facebook does not send us, you know, send those things out like we like. So there are no links to those, but the information is there if you want to see them. My idea today is to use what am I trying to do? Oh, my idea today is to make a kind of a retro junk journal, okay? A retro fun in the sun. That's what I'm calling mine. So I love these. You know, I'm going to kind of put this down a little bit closer. I think we can get a little closer. There we go. Now, I don't really like this, but you know, here's the thing about junk journals. You can always cover up something, right? It doesn't matter if you have something you don't like or not. You guys, I gotta put on some lotion. Goodness, my hands are so dry. Do you ever have just your hands are so dry that they just hurt? Oh my goodness. I have that problem a lot. Okay. So, now, if you put, and here's a tip, if you're putting on lotion and you're going to do some kind of, especially paper crafting, be sure and grab some kind of a wipe and wipe the bottoms, you know, the palms of your hands off, so you're not going to get stuff on there. So I just take that, and now I'm just going to wipe the bottom off. Okay. Hi, Martha. Lori says she's done a little paper crafting, but she loves watching everybody. Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you, though, Lori. We love people telling us that, you know, they're kind of newbies to it all. Okay, so here's some things. This is from one set. I've got quite the variety here, you guys. I tried to find some things that I felt like coordinated, you know, and like I said, they were from different designers. So this one, some of this has kind of, you know, I don't even know what you'd call that. I don't even know what kind of like. This was a completely different one, but I put it into the mix because it had some of this summer fruit on it. And now I might have gotten too close. Oh, there. And here was a different one. This is a different kit. Actually, this is from the same one. There were a lot of pages in this particular one, and then this is a different one. Now you're going to see in a second how these my main kit that I started with is this one. This is the one I started with, And so then I just kind of had to find some things that I thought would go okay. And keep in mind that we're going to have other papers that are, you know, going to separate them, right? So, you know, they're not all going to be just smashed together and you're going to see all of those against these. So I wanted to kind of break it up, but I love these. I thought these were really cute. And so I, you know, printed on both sides with, you know, something else, because all of these together just seemed like a lot. You know, you wouldn't want those all together. I don't know what you would, it would be tricky to come up with a way to, you know, do that, I think. For me anyway, maybe not you. And then some of these, so some of them are a little bit, you know, softer looking, but I tried to, you know, arrange them. And like I said, there's 4 of them. There's 4 different ones, but this was the one I just loved. And so, you know, but I think the fruit things are kind of fun. They'll go good, and it gives you a lot more, you know, open space. But and this is so funny, you guys, because this is actually the designer. She's got this barcode on here, and it's actually, you can tell that it's part of the whole thing. So it's almost like a film print. You know how sometimes they had little things on them, but she has even got her name on there, her little shop name on the side. And I thought, I can't decide if I like that or it's annoying. But I thought, you know, no, it kind of gives it that look that it's like a negative or, you know, film print like that. And so lots of fun like this. So let's go ahead and I just put a few of these in here. There were enough of these in the one kit, and this kit was just simply a giant PDF, so it is a huge file, you guys. But I did put all those in there, and it says something about ephemera. Now I didn't even print the things out of it yet to use for the ephemera, but all these things where I thought this was really cute. But all these gals, and I love how almost all of them are at these like motel looking things outside. They're so cute. I know, aren't the colors great? So some of them, and I've kind of partnered here because I'm not sure as I put my papers in exactly how they're going to go together, but I need to stack in some other pieces of paper. But here's the deal. We're going to take these and we're actually going to make 3, I'm only going to use 3 envelopes. I'm going to use big envelopes. I'm going to use 3 of them. You guys, I wanted to dye them, and that did not work out for me at all. And so we're going to do 3 of them. And I got some inks out here just to, you know, brush some color on and give them some color, because they will have, especially around the edges, because all of them will end up putting some pictures, you know, on like 2 parts. So what's going to happen is we're going to do these, we're going to fold them in half. They'll have basically a signature inside, a small signature. I'm not going to make them huge, right? Whose papers are these? Deborah. They're from 4 different Etsy shops, and they're listed in the description. So Liz says it reminds her of Palm Springs. Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, so there's 4 different sets here that I got to use like this. I thought the colors coordinated okay, and so I thought that would be, I liked it, you know. So that's me. That's me. So, you know, you just have to pick and choose and find the things that you want to use. So I'm just going to take some color and rub on here, and I thought that on the outsides of these I would use this yellowish color. This is a distressed oxide, and you know, the Ranger distressed oxides are a hybrid ink that is part pigment ink and part dye based ink. And so, oh man, I'm glad I got that big old brush. Look at that. I had something I was gonna spray on. I found these things the other day that have been sitting here who knows how long, and you mixed water with them. So I had distilled water, because if you ever have products, you know, that you want to revive, or that you're doing something like that and have to add water, you want to use distilled water. Don't use regular tap water. because you'll end up with problems down the road. So so I did that, but I had a lot of trouble getting it to spray. And there was a pretty yellow one, and they all have a little bit of a shimmer, and I thought, oh, that would be so fun. But that didn't work out. I tell you what, you guys, if anything could go wrong getting ready for this, it has. All right, so we're just going to keep going. So we can sit and chat while I do this. And like I said, talk about, going from the very start. Here it is. We're going from the very start. Hey, Susan, sorry. How are you doing? She's watching with us over on YouTube. I think she said she can't comment on YouTube. She likes to watch over there. So I usually, most of the time, I stream to Facebook and YouTube. And my YouTube channel is the same name, My Artful Adventures. But when you say My Artful Adventures, you're talking about you. It's your adventures. We all have adventures. So, they're not just mine. Everybody has their own, right? So I think I'm just going to do the yellow on each of these. Now I'm kind of second guessing what I got to do the little binding thing with. I do have something else I could do over here. You know what? I made one of these one time, and it was just small, and I loved it. It was just the tiniest little thing. I made them with 5x7 envelopes, and I just loved them. Okay, you guys, we're going to talk about something. I don't usually talk about health things, but I'm going to. I'm going to be a cautionary tale for you, okay? So, and this is one of the reasons I feel like I'm so behind, and I've had such a challenge, like getting everything together for several days for different things I've been doing. But I was in the hospital, not this last weekend, but the weekend before, and I had a TIA, and for those of you who don't know, it's a small stroke. And a TIA means that it was a small stroke and that, things resolved themselves. But my daughter and I were sitting, we had come home from the grocery store. It was pretty late, and we were sitting at the little table, and we were visiting, and we hadn't ever had dinner, and I had grabbed something. We had some leftover like chicken strips from somewhere, and I just grabbed one of those to eat, and I ate one. And so in a little bit I go back and I grab another one, and they were just teeny tiny little things. And so I go back to the table, and I'm sitting there, and it's so weird because we don't usually sit and talk like that. She usually is sitting, doing something else or catching up on, seeing what's going on with friends on Facebook or whatever, or just in her room. And so there we were sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm trying to eat this, and it's like I can't really chew it. And I'm like, what in the world did I? And so I start to say something. Yes, I was trying to talk with food in my mouth, and it just wasn't coming out. And she looks at me and she goes, "Are you having a stroke?" right in front of me. So I'm like, I'm just gonna shake my head no. And so I'm like, well, gosh, do I have so much food in my mouth I just can't deal with it? So I go to the kitchen trash can and I spit part of it out. And I still don't feel like look at that big blob. I still don't feel like I can, chew it right. And so, and so I just go spit it all out. And so she goes, what happened? And so I'm trying to tell her something, and the words were just not really right, I mean, it was just weird. And so she goes, "You don't sound right." And so we sit there a little bit, and so, in a little bit, it clears up and I could talk, but it felt like it was still really hard to talk. But, I could make sense, but I had to really work at it and think about words. And so, we both start looking up strokes, And so she goes, I'm still not sure that's not what happened. And so everything that you would read said, you know, you need to seek help. You should call 911. So she goes out, she tells her dad, you know, I think your wife just had a stroke. And he's like, what? And so we go get in the car and go over to the hospital. And they want to know why you're there. And things have sure changed since I used to take people to the hospital, to the ER. I filled out half a sheet of paper and hardly put anything on there. I handed them my ID and, you know, filled out a couple of things. So they go, okay, let's weigh you, and here is so-and-so. She will be your triage person. And so she takes me over there and weighs me and then puts me in this room that's right next to it. And I swear they must have had 5 people standing there waiting on me to see me. And they start doing stuff. They stick an IV, you know, port in my arm, and they do everything under the sun. They're taking my blood pressure. I mean, everything. And I'm just like, whoa. So you guys, and then, you know, in the end, we find out that, yeah, and I don't know if it was just that night or what, but my blood sugar had really come up. Not, you know, not dangerous, but, you know, way higher than it should be. And which I'm mindful of that because I do have diabetes too, and so I'm always, you know, trying to, you know, take care of not having too much sugar or anything. But you know, you guys, we just, you know, and I've put on a few more pounds. I probably weigh more than I have in many years. And you know, you just don't think about those things, and you just don't think, oh, you know, it won't be me, or I'm not that bad. And until that's not true anymore. And so you guys, you know, and I tell you what, if somebody had not been sitting with me and watched it happen, or had I not been talking to somebody, I don't know that I would even realize that it had happened. Hey Jeannie, how are you? So, you know, you just have to, so here's my cautionary tale. Well, so I came home, you know, I started eating way better. My blood sugar numbers are way back to what they, you know, that are a lot more acceptable. And, you know, of course, they put me on a blood thinner for like 21 days and some other, you know, cholesterol medication. And so, you know, it's just like, and you just hate taking all the stuff, but, you know, you shouldn't let yourself get in that kind of shape. You need to take care of yourself. You need to know what kind of numbers you are. Don't skip your doctor appointments. You know, I want to be the cautionary tale for all of you. Take care of yourself. Know those things about yourself so that, you know, you have the best outcome, you know, possible for, you know, if something should happen like that. So there's my cautionary tale, you guys. Thanks, Jeannie. I tell you what, and you know, not everyone is so lucky to walk away with basically no sign of what happened. And when they did the, you know, and of course they did every scan under the sun, and then they want me to see like a cardiologist and a what's the head doctor, a neurologist. I did go back yesterday to see my regular doctor, and you guys, from that other week, within, you know, just like, what was that, 7, 8, maybe 9 days, just from eating better, I already lost 11 pounds. How's that? I mean, really, you know, I'm just like, well, so, you know, and I tell you what, at least this time, I think, you know, my family is way more on board of eating healthy, and we just got to where we just ate terrible, you know, and you know, we junk food, fast food, you know, whatever. So you just have to take care of yourself, right? So, okay. So, you know, yeah, that's one reason why I just feel so behind. And so, like I said, yeah, we're for sure starting out from scratch. This, to me, looking at this in person, it doesn't look as splotchy. The yellow has spread more lightly over some of these down here, right? So it looks a little better like that. So yes, thank you, you guys. I'm right. I'm glad somebody was there too. But here's the deal. Here, and I think if you take anything away from this, don't dismiss things that are out of the norm. If something seems weird and not normal for you, you know, like day to day, don't dismiss it. Make sure you know what has happened. But anyway, in the scans, like of my brain, they could see just this teeny tiny little white spot, and they said yes, that would have been where it happened. And so it was like and I felt like I couldn't talk out of this side of my mouth, and like I couldn't really chew. It was just like all right in here. But my daughter said, you know, I didn't look different. There wasn't any like visible sign except of while I was talking and chewing. So like I said, don't dismiss things. So there's your health challenge for, so you didn't know you were going to get anything like that during today. So, and I really hadn't planned to, but you guys, you know what? It's so important that we all take care of ourselves. Not only for us, but you know, we've got people that want to see us around, right? So that's that. Okay, let's see. Thank you guys. Yes, truck your instincts. Yes, you do have to. Yep. And sometimes, you know what? I had a friend who, her mother had some kind of cancer, you know, in her stomach, or I don't remember where, you know, somewhere like that. And the sad thing was that her mom had been feeling not right for quite some time, and she didn't do anything about it. Oh shoot, I don't have any paper towels. She hadn't done anything about it, and when she went in to check about it, yeah, she had some kind of cancer, and it was just so sad. It was so sad to know that she hadn't been feeling well, and just, you know, like I said, you know, don't dismiss those things. Okay, you guys. One thing that really sold me on these kinds of brushes was the fact that you were supposedly supposed to be able to kind of, you know, wipe them out and then go into your next color. So I'm going to use, this is kind of a weird color, but I'm going to use this one. I think, now I really thought about if I wanted to use any part of the envelope, but I think since the envelope is really going to be more of the cover, oh, hey, it's got a sticky thing. I don't think I'm going to, because then it would kind of be, it would, I don't know, I don't want to. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to. Okay. These brushes, Debbie, do you like them? I tell you what, I went to a thing that was like a scrapbook expo here. Gosh, this was so many years ago. And so they were demoing them there, and I'd never seen anything like them. And then later, people started going, oh, I'm just going to buy the makeup brushes like that. And I'm like, what? And I had never even seen the makeup brushes like that. You guys are going to get so tired of me doing this, but, you know. And then I will come on each time. Oh, you guys, we did not do a hashtag for our journal. So I think what we need to do this time, last one was Spring is Near, JJJ. So I think our hashtag this time needs to be Fun in the Sun, JJJ, for Junk Journaling Jamboree. So if nobody has already come up with one, we need one. And that way you can find what's going on, find all of our people who are still working on their journals. I know that I'm going to probably paste some things. I'm probably going to cut some of those pages and do here. So I think I'll just kind of do the center and the outer edges. That'll save us a little bit of time. So, you guys, I do apologize for not being as ready for today as probably what I normally am. I'm not even going to have time to probably get my signatures sewn into this. This, and you sure can't take this as a lesson in inking, can you? It's kind of crazy looking. You have one brush like that. Yes, and you know what? I've got some that are pretty small too, and they come in all kind. Like sometimes when you get a set, like when these first came out, they only sold them I think in a set, and I think now you can kind of get them, you know, in different sizes, maybe individually. I'm not sure about that, but you know, then you can have some of these little tiny ones, and the tiny ones are nice to just do small places. Duh, that's probably why they made them. Or like if you wanted to do small stencils or something, you can just use that tiny bit of color. So you guys, I haven't used this great big one in quite a while, but this color, look at this. And I thought this was kind of funny. I had to kind of go through and see what I might like, but look at this. Isn't that gonna look pretty on there with some of this, you know, like blending into here? And now here's a problem though that I have with all those, combining all those different kits from those different designers. Here's a problem I have. Like this one, I could cut the white off here, and I might, and this one would be okay on this one. Now this page, this one might be okay too. Well, no. If you cut these off, well, that might be okay. It wouldn't be too bad. You're not going to get all this nice deckled edge. You'd be cutting part of that off, I think, if you did that. So you just are going to have to go through. And you know, with our junk journals, a lot of times we have pages of different sizes. So it might not be, you know, a bad thing. But there were some, and I think it's with these maybe. If you cut off, yeah, these are some of them, that if I cut this off, well, actually, I think it's only going to cut down into this part, so I might be able to still do that. I would rather be able to cut a lot of that off, you guys, than to have to, like, ink all of that. And I don't really like it white. It just doesn't, it doesn't do anything for me with, because of the color of all the backgrounds on all of this. Every one of them, no matter which set it was, you know, they have these different kind of, oh, what would you call that? I don't even know. They're certainly off-white. They're almost kind of an orange color, not kind of a pale orange, a very light one. Not really tan. Maybe that might be kind of more tan, but it's got more orange in it than a tan color would. But you know, that was the thing. I mean, I don't like just all that white edge on there. So, but you know, that's the thing. As you make your journals, you have to decide. You have to be the person that decides how you're going to do that. I mean, do you want to, you know, cut it all off and just leave it at that, which I might. And these were 9x12 envelopes. I just got them at Walmart. And even at a 9x12, you know, you've got a little bit of room, you know, on the top and the bottom. And I mean, it fits. You've got plenty of room on a 9x12 envelope to use as, you know, your covers for 8.5x11. Now, if I cut these all down, though, look how much space that my, that's going to leave me a lot of space on my edges, which, well, you can't even see. That's going to be quite a bit. So I don't know if I really want that much, you know, margin, you know, on the cover. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, they're more sepia toned than white. Yeah, like old photos. Hey, Christy, how are you doing? Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration is going to be our next creator. She's going to be up next. So, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be an awful lot. I almost wish I would have had, of course, you know, you take a paper that's got a background color to it, and then what you print on it is going to be a totally different color. So I don't know that that's always the answer either. Got a lot of splotches going on here. Maybe I'll do a little bit on purpose, a little bit darker. I don't know. So we got a little bit of yellow there, a little bit of orange here. Let's do a different color. So this was dried. Okay, the gold color I used, or not the gold, the yellowy color was fossilized amber. This one was dried marigold. And yeah, I tell you, this has been one of those days that it's like everything has gone sideways. Why are days like that, do you think? That's not very fun, is it? Oh my goodness, my glue is open. That's no bueno. Ink up the white frames area. Yeah, I think so. And it'll probably be a lot easier to do than, you know, what we're doing here, right? Kathleen, thank you. I'm doing good. That's more yellow. What's more yellow? What is more yellow? And this one is called Tea Dyed. And this is kind of a, you know, this is kind of a nice color. This actually might be a nice color to do the white edges on all of the pages. And you know what? While we're talking about that, let's just try one. Let's just do one. Let's see how this would, let's try it out. And they don't even have to all be the same, right? We can just kind of hit it a little bit. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that wouldn't take all that long. And it bumps that white down. Look at that. Oh, I like that. Yeah, so this is that tea dye color. Ooh, I like it. What do you think of that, you guys? I think that blends pretty good. Woohoo! It's gonna take me a while though. And you guys, well, I am not gonna make you watch all of this. I just thought, you know, we might as well just sit and do this, and we could visit a little bit. What do you guys got going on? Sometimes it's hard for me to keep track of comments and stuff, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just be mindful of trying to keep track of more comments, and we'll just, oh yikes, and we'll just work on this part, and then next time I'll be able to I'll have these done before I do any other parts of the journal. But you know, Jimmy Lou wanted us, you know, I understood the assignment. Start from the beginning. Oh my gosh, I guess if I started from the beginning, you'd be sitting here with me while I was trying to look on Etsy picking collections. Oh my word. You know, and I wish, sometimes you just wish that, you know, the same designer would have something, you know, that like for me, it's like, oh, why didn't she have something else that could have been more fun, that would have been used for, you know, junk journaling, than just those cool retro, look like vacation pictures. That would have been fun. Cut it off, boom, done. I don't really, you know, I could do that, but I don't really want that much border on all of it, Cynthia, of the cover. The difference between the page size and the cover. If I had, you know, made the cover to size, that wouldn't have been a problem. But look, I like that. That gives a lot more, I like it. How many like it? Give me some hearts if you like that. But for those of you who haven't seen the pages, okay, so this was, I went through Etsy, I got 4 different sets, but here's the ones that I started with. This was the one I wanted. It's a set like this. Isn't that fun? I just think those are so fun. They're like vacation pictures, kind of retro looking. Look at that. And then this was from a different set. Oh, here's this one. But they all have like the I think almost every one has a girl, and then, you know, something else going on. I think there is actually though, like, oh, this one, this is a little bit different. Look at this. Look at this old car. This is just so much fun. And yeah, so all of these are in the description. Each one that I use. This one is the collection from Moonlit Oasis Boutique. So it's kind of like your, stamp on your negative or something. So I thought those were a lot of fun. Oh, Linda, how fun. That's cool. I'm glad you've gotten a chance to do that. Let me take one of those really bright ones and see how that looks. Let's try this color with her. I didn't pull out like a bluish green color. I didn't sample any of my inks for that to see how those would look. Now the one we just did, kind of, that blended right into the edge. This isn't too bad. I think once you take that, once you just knock that really white color down, I think you're good, right? Well, let's see. What did Cynthia say? Because we can offer such large sizes for such small prices, it takes a long time to get sets to coordinate. Yeah, that's true. It does take a long time to create a collection. I know that. And yet we can still want it. Right? We can still want it, Cynthia. But yes, you're right. And honestly, you guys, I cannot for the life of me figure out how they can afford to take the time and energy to create printables and sell them for what they do on Etsy. That just blows my mind. I just I don't know. I don't know. I guess you're looking to sell volumes, right? At least there's no shipping involved. No packaging up and sending to anybody. They're already done. Boom. They order it and they can download it. And the nice thing about printables is, if you go back and I look at this and I say, I want another pair of oh, you know what? Wouldn't this be fun for the front cover? I might print another one and cut that out and use it for the front cover. I think that'd be cool. I think that's my plan. But I can do that because I've got all of those images sitting on my computer, and I can just go over and print out another one. So that is kind of the beauty. Some of you saw me work on the thing that was for Journal Pals, and I used that storybook paper collection from Stampin' Up. And you guys, I think it's out again, and I don't know that they will order it again, or bring it back. But you guys, I knew I wanted more of it, and so I ordered more of it. And it's like, now some of the pages I probably have more than I wanted, and some of my favorite pages I probably won't have as many as I would have liked. And that's how that goes when you are using when you're using your purchased paper, physical paper products. So yeah, I tell you, I think people who are designing the papers and selling them like that, people really appreciate it. So yes, Cynthia, thank you for being one of those designers. Oh, Connie, thank you. Yes, that wedding set. Yeah, that that took a little bit, but thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys, I have a nice wedding printable set on my my Shopify store, and we're kind of coming back into that season again, right? We're coming back into wedding season. So if you want to make a junk journal for weddings, I've got that one out there, and it's like myartfuladventures.myshopify.com. So I try to make it easy so everybody can, you know, remember what the store name is and stuff. Yeah, you guys, I love this tea dye. That's a cool color. That's really a cool color. Who knew? You guys, I've got so many colors I just don't get out. They just sit over there and just, you know, probably think they'll never be used. And so I know they're lonely, and so sometimes I go over and I say, anybody want to come out and play today? Do you want to be in the junk journal? Hey Lisa, how are you doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, it might be easy for you, Cynthia, for 40 pages. Lisa is another person. Hey Lisa. Lisa does some designing too. Lisa, we were just talking about how, you know, it takes time. I was saying there are 4 collections from 4 designers that I have put together to use for this junk journal. It's kind of got a retro look to it. And so I found 4 different things to use. And you know what, you guys? I mean, but that's the beauty of it, because Etsy things, they're, you know, on sale so much of the time. And, you know, you can go in and get as many sets as you think are going to coordinate or that you want to get. And it's not that expensive, right? But yeah, Lisa does that. Lisa says she's been slacking lately. Oh my goodness, the worst part of designing is you have to do test prints. Oh, yep. Okay, yeah, Lisa, look at this. This is kind of retro. We got some retro gals going on. This was the one that I based what I wanted to do on. Yeah. So, yeah, lots of fun, you guys. Oh my goodness, we still got 15 minutes. Let's see. So, I will show you some of the other things I was thinking about adding in. I do have, and we'll work on this next time. Next time we'll be able to sew in our signatures and get the. Oh my goodness, I didn't even do the tabbed part of the book. Well, like I said, this is part 1. I shouldn't have even said it was a tabbed binding. You guys, let me show you though how that kind of works. We got enough time that I can show you that. Let me see what I've got that I can use for a little bit of tape or something. We'll just make a pretend one here. Let's make a pretend one, because I don't want people thinking, what in the world? She said this was gonna be a Oh, I remember this set. These were weird. That's okay. Oh, you know, let's fold these in half and I'll show you. Let me grab, what do I have I could glue them with? I don't want to use the stuff I picked out to use. Hang on 1 second. Let me just grab a little bit of tape. I've got some of that. Oh, I can't get to it. I can't get to it. We'll use something else. What can we use? You know, I'll just cut some little pieces of paper. How about that? That'll work. I'll just give you the basic plan here. So I'll just cut some strips here. Well, that's probably kind of wide for what we're gonna do. So you have your little things like this, and you want them all about the same size. And these can be pieces of ribbon or fabric, whatever you want to use. But you need to be able to adhere them. We're going to glue them though. So now this is going to be what we're going to do to like the basic envelope covers that we're going to be putting together. I think that might be enough. Let's see. Okay, so we're just going to fold these. This is we're going to play like this is our little cover. Okay, and I'm going to put signatures in. Now, you can actually do a fun little thing just like this and make something fun. Make it fun, always fun, and we're having fun in the sun, right? Oh, yeah, Lisa, yeah, it's you at the pool, right? That's funny. We know Lisa loves her pool. Yeah, what kind of weather have you got up there, Lisa? What do you guys got going on today? Okay, so this is what you do. You adhere these to what's kind of your spine. I think I gotta move this down, you guys. Oh, I'm missing a lot of that. Okay, so pool party at Lisa's. Woohoo! Who's gonna bring something fun to... Are we gonna have party games, Lisa? You got some party games for us? Okay, I hope this will come out. So this is just that reptile glue that I always use. Okay, so you put it on here on the left and you decide where you're gonna put it. I'm just gonna put it here, put about halfway on, and you're gonna put 3 of them. Your first one gets 3. And you guys, you can just keep adding to this and make as many little pages as you want. Now, of course, it's ideal that they are the same sizes, okay? It's gonna look a lot better. Okay, and now you flip it like this. Now this one, you're gonna line up here, and this one's just gonna get 2. So again, we're just putting it on the left side. And we're going to put it in between there. So on the left side, I'll cover up this number 2. So I'm going to kind of line them up so, and, you know, as you're doing this, you can line them up like this. Unless you're going to put something over the top of that, then it wouldn't be so important. Okay, and then that one can go there. And then we're going to do the next one, and this one needs to line up with the first one. We're going to put 3 on there again. So I'm actually just going to match them up right here. Have you, Liz? You've watched it before? I haven't done it very many times. The other one, and how funny, because I think the other one is kind of a little, I think it had some little nautical looking pages to it too. So now we got swimming pool stuff. The other one had more like seaside stuff. Oh, Susan says their neighborhood opens a pool next week. You guys, they don't open our big pool. We have a really nice place in our city. We've got a great big water park, and they don't open it, I don't think, during the week. They don't open it until the kids are out of school. They might open it, well, but you know, school gets out like in May, so I don't know that they'd want to open it any earlier than that anyway. So now this one we want to line up. And it really looks best from the back if you can really line them up as best you can, okay? So now then what you do is you lay the first one over here like this, right on top of this guy, match them up, and now you take the first 3 on that bottom one, look, at least I'm showing you the technique I promised. Whew, I'm glad I thought of that. And so we're just taking those 3 and going like this. You guys, I need to make another one for that. I think I need one more. And now this one. Now then you take this guy and you put him over here. We need one more. I need one more folded doodad here, which we'll do that in 1 second. So, wait a second. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing, you guys. So now we're doing the twos. So it's always 3, 2, 3, 2. You alternate which ones that you're putting on. So the first page was the 3s, and this is the 2. So it's best to have an even number of pages. Okay, then they look nice. We always like our stuff to look nice, right? Hey, Becky. So here's, Susan says theirs doesn't have a lifeguard. Beach around. Yeah, you guys have beach. How far is it that you live from the beach? Like 5 minutes? I think it's like that, right? 5 minutes? Okay, so then the last one, you don't need to put anything on because you've already got your tabs on here. So now you just put your, but yeah, so if you want them to be, well, I'll show you in a second. As soon as I finish this, I'll show you what I mean. So yeah, you just alternate 3, 2, 3, 2. And then hopefully you get them lined up pretty good. That's not too bad. So here's your 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the center one has 2. Okay. So yeah, and these are, they were not the same. They were hit or miss to the sizes all the way around, right? Could you use a seam binding for tabs? I don't know why not. I don't know why you couldn't. I think that would be fine because it is fabric. And fabric works pretty good to use. I don't know, you might want to be careful what kind of glue that you use because the glue might, show through. But if you're going to put the covers on, that's not going to matter anyway. You're not going to really see it on the back side. But see, this is what was going to happen. If I only had 3, I'd have been left with this guy. I guess I could have just wrapped it around itself. But then it would have been, you'd have all of those on the same one. But so now you've got this whole little thing and it's all bound together just like that. So, that would be a fun little booklet thing to do. But that's how you do a tab bound album. Yes, 5 minutes. Susan lives 5 minutes from the beach. Liz said she lives 6. Oh, yeah. It's 6 for you. It's like, well, yeah, it's probably about 6 for me too, Liz. Susan, one time you were telling somebody that and you told you were on a live and you said 5 miles. I'm like thinking, I think it's 5 minutes, not 5 miles. But so now, now you could just take whatever, you build your base from your envelopes or, whatever you're going to use. It doesn't have to be envelopes. There's all kinds of stuff you could do this with, you guys. And then you can decorate it, you can cover the fronts and everything, and there you go. It is easy, Lori. It is an easy kind of a cover. And so with this, okay, so as we move forward with the rest of this, whoa, you guys, I'm gonna have to make another envelope because I just said it works best if you've got an even number. I'm gonna have to get another envelope. I hope I have another one. Do I? Yes, I do. I think I have one more. I had really wanted to use them and like spray them with a lovely color spray, and that wasn't working out. But then when I went back, it was starting to dry, and I'm like, that does look okay. It would have worked if I would have, gotten started sooner. The story of my life, if I would have started sooner. Oh, you guys, this is going to be fun, though. So I think I am going to pick this for the front of the Fun in the Sun for the journal. How many of you guys like this one? You think this is a good one to start for the, give me some hearts if you think this is a good one to use for the front cover. It's kind of like, you know, what's on the inside, right? I like it though. But yeah, and again, if you didn't hear, the printables I used are Etsy printables, 4 different collections, and they're in the description. It tells the name of the designer first, and then it shows the or the shop, I should say, the shop name, and then it has the name of the collection. You're just following that. So you guys stay tuned. We've got Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration coming up next. We'll see what she is going to take, where she's going to take us in her fun in the sun, right? Yes, thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. And you guys, like I said, it's a cautionary tale, so you guys take care of yourselves. Pay attention. Don't be skipping stuff, and eat healthy. Don't eat that junk food. And the doctor says, no fast food, no fried food, no, what else did she say? Oh, I can't even remember. What was the third one? Oh gosh, I don't even know. I can't even remember. I know it. I just can't think of it right offhand. But yeah, you guys take care. My time is up. Let's go see Christy. Let's go see the other Christy. You guys take care. Just refresh your page. If you're watching in Junk Journaling Jamboree, refresh your browser and she'll be right there. Bye-bye, guys.